the right, Brian Noble on the left, of course, and a great moment for Paul Sculthorpe. He finally leads his country in the Test arena, and he leads the British boys out on his home turf. And Paul Sculthorpe will be our guest, by the way, on Boots and All tomorrow, and he will be reliving that particular moment. A great moment for Sculthorpe. His 26th cap, but the first time he has been the captain. Was due to captain Great Britain in the Tri-Nations last year, but was injured, and his place was taken, of course, by Jamie Peacock. Well, this is an international occasion, so we do have the national anthems of both nations, and we have heard already tonight from Carmela Finnegan, who will be singing the British national anthem. First, though, Mark Queenie, who lives in Warrington, but who comes from the Wanganui in North Ireland. From Wanganui in the North Island, Mark Queenie, who now lives in Warrington. Now it's a big moment for 13-year-old Carmela Finnegan, who attends the De La Salle Performing Arts Centre in St Helens, and she is a big St Helens fan. She will sing the national anthem. Well done, Carmela. She was recommended by Claire Wellens, who is a teacher at the De La Salle College. She is Paul Wellens' twin sister, and she came up with the goods. Well done to Carmela Finnegan. Well, the only thing now that is left is for the New Zealanders to line up for the traditional haka, and it looks like David Kidwell is going to be the man with Robbie Paul, who will lead them in this as they face out Great Britain in the traditional welcome. They love it, and so do the British crowds. They love seeing them perform it as well. And don't let anyone say that this New Zealand side tonight will lack any passion. Steve Clark from Australia is the referee. It is a true international occasion and a big, big test, Steve-o, for Great Britain, this.
It certainly is, and Great Britain realise they cannot take this New Zealand side lightly. They have played against most of them throughout the Super League seasons. They know what they are capable of. They know the qualities. The one man, perhaps it will be an absolute mystery, is of course a New Zealand youngster, 20-year-old Ben Roberts, who's playing standoff tonight. He's a man that likes to take on the defences. He's not shy. He is a very confident player. And when you place him at the side of the experienced Stacey Jones, anything can happen. But Eddie, when you look at this Great Britain pack, Fielden, Cunningham, Morley, Peacock, Ellis, Sculthorpe, it is so big, so strong, and it is rough.
Well, Ben Roberts is going to be the man who will get the game underway, and the 4X test at St Helens. We're in motion, and it's the first touch for Stuart Fielden, and what a great chase from the kickoff by the Kiwis. Big hit in the opening exchange there from Henry Farfili on Stuart Fielden. Important that Great Britain get hold of this ball early. First touch is vital in a test match, and Jamie Peacock has it. He plays the ball to Kieran Cunningham, and Cunningham thought about the pass to Maguire, And, well, they seem to run down a blind alley there.
Well, it looked as though he'd offloaded it. Sean Long was absolutely bewildered, and Cunningham just pulled it back. But we've seen so early the power of Cunningham and what he can do running from dummy half. If the Kiwis don't get their first and second markers back quickly, he will just rip them apart.
And Sean Long was under pressure then, but David Kidwell missed him, fortunately. And here come the New Zealanders. First touch of the ball for them, and a great offload to Henry Farfili.
Eddie, at international level, the kicking game becomes even more important than what we see in Super League from week to week. Brian Noble's aware of that, and that's the pressure on players like Sean Long to put the ball into space, and then hopefully the Great Britain team will flood forward and defend as though their lives depend on it.
Matutoni playing at hooker tonight. This is Paliasina of Wigan, who only escapes the tackle, and he runs over the top of another would-be tackler. That was Adrian Morley. And they are 40 metres away from the Saints line. Here is Lauatiti, great offload. Here is Stacey Jones. There are early warning signs here for Great Britain.
Well, they're not frightened of the Kiwis to keep this ball. Give it plenty of air.
Willie Talau of St Helens, winning his 13th cap, will get to his feet on the last tackle and play it to Ali Lauatiti. Here is Stacey Jones, crossfield kick. Here's an early test for Adi Gardner. Oh, and it's claimed by Vainakolo, and Vainakolo scores the first try. The referee, though, Stephen Clark, will hand it on to the video referee, and he just wants to check
before he gets the ball and grounds it.
Something in back play.
What a great take by the big fella, and what a huge kick. Stacey Jones, so important that when you get the first opportunity, you apply the pressure. No, I think that's going to be given. They certainly collided.
He was what?
He looked very much in front, did Leslie Vainakolo, though, when the kick came up.
Oh, okay.
Now, as he pushed him, Adi Gardner definitely moves. Kick from Jones. No one in view as they pull out wide. No, he's onside. That is a great run by Vainakolo, and that is a wonderful take.
Okay.
You can't take this New Zealand side lightly, as I mentioned, and this surely should be TRY.
The try is given by video referee David Campbell, and it's not the start that Great Britain wanted, but it is the start that Leslie Vainakolo wanted, and he has got now his 14th try for his country tonight. Leslie Vainakolo is winning his 14th Test cap.
It is so important that when you get that opportunity early in the game, you apply the pressure, irrespective whether you keep the ball alive or you put in the kick to the corner. And that was not a great leap by Adi Gardner. But what about the precision from one of the world's best halfbacks and one of the world's best wingers, taking it with glee. They are stunned at Great Britain.
Eddie, they call it a test match because it tests you physically and mentally. If you look at the distance that the Kiwis made from that kick into the corner by Long, the offloads along the way from plays 2 to 3 to 4 really got New Zealand on the front foot going forward, and then that's a perfect position from the top of the screen. Crossfield kick to the corner for Vainakolo.
And Roberts with the kick. His last kick was in reserve grade in the NRL, and that possibly shows you the reason why. Ben Roberts just sliced the kick the wrong side of the post, but Leslie Vainakolo's try makes it Great Britain 0, New Zealand 4, and that was the first touch of the football for the Kiwis. That was ominous for Great Britain.
It certainly is, and you could see there that the running off the ball was good. They're bringing the ball back on different angles. They are not frightened to keep it alive. When you look at the 2 second rowers, Lauatiti and David Solomono, two of the greatest offloaders in international rugby league.
Do you know what's great about this occasion, and we've wanted a mid-season international, is because it gives us a chance to see players under pressure. Adi Gardner making his debut for Great Britain under the right wing here, put under pressure by a great kick from Jones. Done what he could do really on his own try line, muscled out of the way by Vainakolo. But how will he respond for the next 76 minutes? He's got a chance to make up for it, plenty of time. He needs to show strength of character right now.
Here is David Solomona. He takes it straight into the chest of Paul Sculthorpe, and it took 3 to bring him down. Maguire has been heavily involved in the tackling early on here, the Great Britain standoff. Quick movement and quick feet from Cooper, but not the best, Roberts rather, but not the best kick to Paul Wellens, and Wellens begins the counter-attack, and he got only as far as Willie Talau. Here now is Leon Price, and New Zealand not standing square at the play of the ball.
And it was all brought about by a very quick play the ball as well. With a tremendous take by Paul Wallens. He has this ability to just wend his way through the defence. And you can see there, extremely slow to set it up. It is an area that I was wondering whether the New Zealanders could keep it tight, and that's in that marker position, and not on that occasion. And I must say, Brian McLennan, the Kiwis coach as well, he must get the message out to Ben Roberts not to kick right down the throat of Paul Wallens. His ability to beat a man is second to none.
Tell you what, on second look at that penalty decision from Steve Clark, the New Zealanders looked a little hard done by.
It was an area, though, where Great Britain lost. When you think back to the Tri-Nations 2005, New Zealand in that first game at Loftus Road really controlled the ruck speed of Great Britain and went on to win the game. It was a slow play of the ball on that game. Great Britain need a fast one tonight to beat the Kiwis.
Kidwell is all over the top of Gareth Ellis, who gets to his feet, plays the ball to Kieran Cunningham. This is Sean Long, and he gives it to Wellens, who gets away brilliantly from a couple of would-be tacklers, then finds Peacock. This is Sculthorpe now, but a good tackle on Sculthorpe coming in from Shantaine Harpy. And it's another penalty to Great Britain, hands in the ruck.
Well, I wouldn't go for the 2 points, and I think Sculthorpe will kick to the corner. Or just take the tap. He's done just that.
He has, and this is Adrian Morley, only arrived in this country from the Roosters 24 hours ago. 2 early penalties for Great Britain. This is Cunningham, and the pass to Fielden, but they were waiting for him in numbers. Here's Cunningham again. Cunningham on his own, and hauled back, and an important tackle by Alex Chan.
Talk about strength from Chan. Not many people can stop Kieran Cunningham near the line, and it looked as though it hit a brick wall.
Long to Maguire, and Maguire responds for Great Britain. Well, they've been helped by 2 cheap penalties that New Zealand have given away, and Danny Maguire, well, he is a match winner, and Maguire comes up with his first international try. The Leeds Rhinos stand off, justifying his inclusion by Brian Noble.
This is a penalty, messing around how to play the ball. There's no doubt about it. David Kidwell will all over it. But watch the quality. See how he comes on the second phase, throws the dummy. That is skill. He's a wonderful player, in great form at the moment. Beautiful stuff. In and out, throw the dummy, see you later. To baffle a man as experienced as Stacey Jones takes some doing. They needed that.
Well, I think it was Danny Maguire's reputation has helped create this try. Great Britain have done remarkably well to get downfield from that penalty. Zigzagged around the post, sucked in that right edge defence, and then given Maguire the time and space with the ball in hand to do what he does best.
Danny Maguire, 23 years of age, a wonderful try-scoring record for Leeds, 106 touchdowns in 121 appearances in the last 4.5 seasons. And a man who perhaps could be the key to a Great Britain success story. Paul Sculthorpe taking the goal-kicking responsibilities tonight. Hasn't been kicking for Saints this year too often. He knows the ground, though, he knows the angles, and he knows the way to the post. And Great Britain lead by 6 points to 4.
The one thing about having a sliding defence, you've got to make sure that you work as a unit. Notice how Jones moves across, but Willie Talau is just a second too slow. It's too late. He's away.
So Great Britain respond, and the ball is out on the full. The ball is out on the full from the kickoff.
Should be a penalty on the halfway line, Eddie.
Now they did it.
No, it isn't.
He's pointing to the halfway line,
Well,
the linesman on the far side.
The touch judge is.
Well, it certainly didn't hit the whitewash, I don't think.
Oh, yes, it did.
Oh, yeah, I think you're right.
The referee is.
He's going to put down the...
Well,
it's just a head. If it hits the whitewash, it's out on the full, so that means it should be a penalty on the halfway. So it looks like he'll give Great Britain head and feet, surely, or... Well, he's going to say that it's just...
He's interpreted this bounce in the field of play, then hit the sideline.
Yeah. But it hit the corner, I don't know.
Well, it's
hit the corner flag.
he's ruled that the ball has landed in the field of play and then hit the touchline, so that's why New Zealand get the head and feed at the scrum. And here they are with Clinton Tupi. And it's another tackle in defence, this time by Martin Gleeson. Here is Leslie Vinacolo running straight at Cunningham. You don't go through Cunningham terribly easily. Motutoni, the dummy half for New Zealand. Stacey Jones, Kidwell.
Good work there. He straightened up, stepped off the right foot. Good job that Senior was alert.
Tony will go on his own. Here now a drive for the line by Palliasina of Wigan. And he's held up just short. Kidwell at dummy half. Back it comes to Stacey Jones, engineer-in-chief. Here is Ben Roberts. Steps, tries to go inside Adrian Morley. Couldn't do. And Morley tried to get another tackle in, but instead it's with Tupi, who dabs the ball to the in-goal area. And Paul Wellens took the risk. And Paul Wellens came up with the goods for Great Britain. Alex Chan was hunting a four-pointer there.
Nice little option. Good tap quickly. Price is away. They were very slow for the Kiwis on that occasion.
Adi Gardner into the chest of David Kidwell.
Oh, it should have been penalised for that.
Great offload by Peacock, finds Maguire. Maguire gives it to Gareth Ellis.
That's right! Movement, David!
Another play of the ball, the referee unhappy again with David Kidwell at the ruck.
Throttle tackle. Right under the neck. Not allowed, and you can see there quite clearly. Let's say Ellis has got themselves. There's a quick tap. That is great thinking. Look how slow the Kiwis were to get back to 10. And not surprisingly, Britain have kicked into the corner. They want to keep turning the tourniquet.
Gareth Ellis scored 2 tries for the Leeds Rhinos at the weekend against Wakefield, his former club. Within 5 metres of the line, Kieran Cunningham. Back it comes to Sean Long, and Sean Long gives it to Maguire. He can't slip the net though. That's good defence from Harpy. It's Long, and Long with an outrageous dummy, then goes to the line himself. Paul back. Cunningham waits at dummy half. Will he go on his own? Cunningham, he will. Strength from Cunningham, and I think he's got that down. The referee will hand it back again to David Campbell to make the decision. The referee wants to know whether he dropped it on the way down. I think he did.
Or was it reefed? It's gone there. Is it reefed by Ben Roberts? I think that's been reefed away. Oh, it's difficult. Either way, it's not a try. That is for sure. Has he lost control, or has there been an offending hand found its way into it there? Harpy
penalty
was
try,
around.
Penalty try. Come into your thoughts.
These decisions just get harder, don't they, every single year? How you decide that? I think that as a defending player, the Kiwis have a right to go around the ball, because you know what Cunningham's trying to do, Steve-O. Whether Cunningham's let go of the ball or whether he's lost it illegally, that's the call for somebody else.
And Cunningham has lost the ball. So it's scrum to the defence, 10 metres out.
You lost it.
And Kieran Cunningham is asking Steve Clarke about the ruling, and he said quite clearly then, you lost it. But Cunningham's reaction wasn't in agreement, I think.
Well, it was a bright start by the Kiwis, but I must say it's looking very ominous for the Black and Whites, because the way that Great Britain have bounced back, and it's that man, Kieran Cunningham. Okay, the try was disallowed, but his ability to scamper away from dummy half is nothing short of brilliant.
This is Henry Farfili again, and now the New Zealanders have a penalty, their first penalty of the Test match.
Well, they tried to turtle him, did the centres Keith Senior. It's rather surprising, though, because the Australian referees, and they haven't found touch. That is a big error.
That is a sin at this level. Here is Wellens, and Great Britain in possession where it should have been the New Zealanders in British territory.
The point I was trying to make there about Stephen Clarke, the Australian referees, they normally allow a long time to when a man get up and play the ball.
They have to shout dominant, though, don't they, for that, or surrender. I think surrender they're allowed as long as they want to get off the the man who was grounded. That's certainly the case in the NRL. This is Field, and he gets Great Britain to halfway. And a quick scamper from dummy half by Leon Price. Dumps the ball down to Cunningham. Cunningham keeps going about 35 metres rather away from the New Zealand line. It's
Surely
long.
to far feeling. No, he's gone straight up. He's going out that way.
No, the knock-on is not nullified. It was knocked on by Great Britain. It came back off the Kiwi hand, so that will be the turnover.
Be interesting to see now how Great Britain just shape up with their defensive patterns. See if they'll wedge in from outside, trying to force the Kiwis down that central pattern.
Talking earlier today to Peter Leach, the New Zealand team manager, and he knows that these pictures and our commentary going to the other side of the world to New Zealand this evening, and he wants me to say on his behalf hello to John and Margaret and the 25 or so Kiwi fans who are watching the game live back home in New Zealand at Waiheke Island.
You know, when the Kiwis were successful in last year's Tri-Nation final, they ran from dummy half very successfully against Australia, made good ground. But if you look at that last set of tackles, Great Britain's marker defence was really, really good, and it just prevented a 5 or 10 metre gain in 3 or 4 tackles before Jones kicked a touch.
And it's a good one as well. He's
just short of a 40-20.
He's just steering them around. He realises that they're having a little bit of difficulty up front. I thought it would be a problem. Alex Chan, Motatoni and Mafida Paliasina against the likes of Field and Cunningham and Morley. It's a tough encounter.
First time that Great Britain have faced New Zealand at St Helens, and it is indeed the first test at Nosey Road for 35 years. 24-2 win against France in March 1971. It was the first international played at Nosey Road under floodlights.
That's one! Movement!
The Kiwis have played here though, and it has been a venue for the 95 and 2000 World Cup tournaments.
Oh, it's pretty solid defence, isn't it? They've upped the tempo now of the Kiwis. Oh, problems for the skipper, Sculthorpe.
Yes, Paul Sculthorpe goes quickly to the dressing room, went straight down the tunnel. Here's Kieran Cunningham. Here now Adrian Morley.
And that's another throttle.
Can't get that arm up there and twist. Ali twisted his neck.
Well, Titi, that's a silly penalty to give away.
It's a silly penalty for Lautiti to give away, but it's a worrying start for Paul Sculthorpe. His captaining career of his country has lasted little more than 16 minutes, Phil.
It's a poor start, and let's hope he can get back out on the field, because he has played an important role in the opening stages as Ellis now goes to within 5 metres of the line. Look at the leg drive, Eddie.
Terrific run from Gareth Ellis. That's the first tackle, and Great Britain are camped underneath the New Zealand posts. It's Cunningham to Morley, and he is forced back.
Great work from loose forward Kidwell there. He went for the ball. No chance for the big fella to get it down.
Sean Long gives it to Danny Maguire, and Maguire tries to get away from his clubmate Lauatiti, but Lauatiti gets him.
Hold here.
Cunningham to Long again. Here on the charges, Ellis. Important tackle that by Stacey Jones. Wellens has joined the line. Back it comes to Long. Gleeson wants it wide. That bounces off the feet, and Lauatiti drops on it gratefully and gleefully.
Go.
Not the best from Long there. Good opportunity. Just got a little bit excited. Quite a few of the Great Britain players just a little bit over-enthusiastic. You've got to pace yourself well in these games. The last quarter of an hour, it really does tell.
That's 4.
David Kidwell is forced back towards his own line by the tackling from Fielden and Morley, the two big prop forwards. Here comes Paliasina again. Great offload, Motatoni. Last tackle though, New Zealand still inside their own half. And a clip down the line from Ben Roberts. That's a better kick, and Wellens has to pick it up. Roberts is the first man there, but the tackle is made by the winger, Leslie Vinacolo.
And a great kick as well from the standoff, Ben Roberts. I mentioned earlier that Brian McLennan, their coach, would have got the message out. Do not go down the throat of Wellens. He did that, pushed it into the corner. And that gives you a chance with a good chase to put the pressure on Great Britain.
Pressure is on because Britain are inside their own half of the field, long, surrounded by black and white jerseys. 4 tackles gone, they're only 30 metres away from their own line. Morley will try and trundle them forward, get them to halfway. Well, he nearly does. This is the last tackle. Expect the kick from Maguire. And he goes straight down the middle. And Clinton Tupy was waiting for that. Clinton Tupy from the New Zealand Warriors will join Leeds next year, along with New Zealand Test colleague Brent Webb. Leslie Vinacolo of the Bradford Bulls. This is Shontaine Harpy.
Safety first by the Kiwis. Don't want to do anything fancy until they get into the opposing half, which they have done now.
David Solomona takes them there. Motu Tony of Hull waits at dummy half, finds Stacey Jones. Jones sees a huge gap behind Leon Price down that left-hand side and finds the touchline.
You know, the Kiwis are more dangerous than Australia when they're close to Britain's line. That's the reason why Jones is putting it down there. They're not as likely to score from within their own half as the Kangaroos do, but their big fellas are so hard to handle near Britain's line, and that's the reason why he's just trying to get his team up towards the British end of the field, and then through some aggressive defence force a mistake.
New Zealand have closed the gap over the past 20 years. 3-0 series wins in 1984 and 1996. The 1998 tourists were unbeaten. They won the series 2-0. They beat Great Britain on home soil 3-0 in 1996. This is the 104th time that the two nations have met. Great Britain have won 61, New Zealand 31, and there have been 5 draws. We're midway through the first half here of the 4X test of 2006, and Great Britain are ahead by 6 points to 4. And Sean O'Loughlin has appeared off the bench. He plays the ball to Keith Senior. And it's Paul Sculthorpe, of course, who is the main casualty at the moment. And I'm sure that Daniel Anderson, who is our guest in the studio, the St Helens coach, will be very concerned about Paul Sculthorpe, and we'll do our best to get him and you news of the Great Britain skipper. That's a great offload by Jamie Peacock. Wellens was the man on his shoulder. Cunningham the dummy half. It's Sean Long attacking the line. He floats it wide to Leon Price, who comes back on the inside. It was on the last tackle. He had to get the kick away, and he did. And this is Clinton Tupy.
Well, they lost away a little bit, Great Britain, and that is a steal. That'll be penalised. I'm not so sure that Morley intended to be involved. It was Cunningham that pulled, but you can see there. Or is it Peacock, sorry?
No, it is Morley.
It is Morley, yeah. It's new hairstyle. Put me off. It'd be amazing to see how long that Morley can stand. Just got off the plane from Australia yesterday.
Well, I queried that with Brian Noble when he announced his team, Steve-O. He just said, well, we'll give him the time early on in the match and allow him to run out of juice. They've got plenty of replacements. James Graham, Terry Newton can also operate up front if need be. So can Kieran Cunningham. So can Jamie Peacock, of course. This is Roberts.
There's a little bit of indecision there. Just shows you that they haven't had a chance to work together. It's Jones and Roberts.
Oh, it's a great offload by Solomona to Shontaine Harpy. That was Motu Tony. This is Stacey Jones. David Kidwell. And Kidwell wasn't tackled. He got the ball away to Jones. Ball goes wide and further wide to Henry Farfili. Now Farfili offloads the ball to Tupy. Tupy throws it wildly. Oh, and it bounces over the head of Maguire. They're lucky to get away with that.
Now then, will a kick to the corner? Will it be a real high bomb?
It's Stacey Jones. Here is Kidwell. They dab it down the middle, and Wellens will have to run this out if he can.
Oh, great play. Superb work by the Great Britain fullback. He knew that the cavalry was charging towards him, and he made sure they went down low so they could not get him back in the in-goal area. That is superb stuff.
And this is the sort of heat and pressure that you sometimes don't see in Super League, but you do see at test level. You're on your own line and the opponents are flying at you. Fielder there now trying his best to get forward, but New Zealand really have us trapped right now.
Well, Daniel Anderson will have his ears pricked for this, because we have news of Paul Sculthorpe with Bill.
And Eddie, I'm afraid it doesn't sound like good news from the Great Britain camp. Paul Sculthorpe is in the dressing room and they think it's ligament damage, knee ligament damage. It's not the knee that he had the major reconstructive surgery on that he's just battled back from injury to get back to lead his country. It's the other knee, and just how serious it is, we're not told at the moment, but the word is don't expect to see Paul Sculthorpe out there again tonight.
So it looked like Paul Sculthorpe's Great Britain captaincy has lasted a quarter of an hour.
Here comes Stuart. Here comes.
Yeah, it's done him no favours ever since he was appointed. Things have just gone from bad to worse. Let's hope that it's not as bad as Bill was saying.
Jones, it's a great pass that was, and Terry Newton gleefully accepted that. Long, and here is Fielden.
That's one! Movement!
Now then, will we see Newton jinking in at the dummy half when they get into the opposition's attacking quarter?
Here is Eddie Gardner for Great Britain.
That's pretty tough defence, isn't it?
It is Sean O'Loughlin underneath all of that, and James Graham comes on to make his test debut. Here he is. It'll be very interesting, Phil, to see how this young man copes at this level, because he's been magnificent in Super League.
I'm sure he'll be fine. He's with some good company. What an offload again. If he can carry on playing like players like Peacock, Graham's going to do all right tonight.
That is Terry Newton. This is Sean Long. Wide it goes, and on the bounce, and Leon Price just could not take the ball in.
Big decision to run the power play rather than opt for the kick. It wasn't the best pass. It was dipping and frustration written all over the boss of GB.
When you're ready, Stash. Hold, go.
This is the 16th consecutive home test match that Great Britain have played. They've won only 4. They did draw with New Zealand at Huddersfield 14-all in 2002. They've lost the remaining 9, but Great Britain have the ball back.
Eddie, amazingly, in those 9 that they lost, they very often made more try-scoring chances than their opponents, Australia and New Zealand, but they didn't turn those chances into points. That's what they need to do tonight.
Hold, go.
Newton will go down the short side and find Keith Senior, and Senior gets the pass away. Leon Price, James Graham, and green for James Graham. What a start for James Graham in his international career. He's only been on the field a matter of moments. He has such potential, this young man. And James Graham, the Liverpool-born St Helens prop forward. What a start to his international career.
And it was made by Terry Newton. A beautiful dummy to the open, then he worked the blind side. And this is how to come onto a football. You dream of moments like this when you put on the Great Britain jumper. What an offload from Senior. What it means to this young fella. The heart will be pounding. He has just scored. Barely minutes after coming into the international scene.
Well, James Graham's learned through experience at St Helens. Just keep supporting the ball and you never know what might happen. With Great Britain's keeping the ball alive. Ball came to Graham, and he's too strong and powerful from that range and too determined.
The outstanding England Academy captain. When he was just a teenager, at 20 he's made the step to the international arena. And this kick from Sean Long now with skipper Paul Sculthorpe off the field has increased the lead to 12 points to 4 in Great Britain's favour.
I'm going the open side, and Kidwell, you're going as well, but I don't want to play there. I want to throw the dummy. Super play. Willie Tallow just a little bit asleep. Oh, he will live with that for all his life.
Hey? Yeah.
James Graham,
Just watch that ball. Take
he
it
must have dreamt of a start like that when he went to bed last night. Then Roberts gets us underway again. 12-4, Great Britain are ahead. Here's the try scorer. He has been the outstanding young front rower in Super League this year, and he gets just reward tonight.
Without a doubt, and that's why it's so important, Eddie. We are using this game as a build-up for the Tri-Nations Down Under, and it is so important that we allow Brian Noble, the GB coach, time to just cement. And let's not forget, this is a wonderful opportunity for these youngsters to cement their place on that plane.
Jamie Peacock.
Wow, Eddie, he's good, isn't he, tonight?
Great run. Great run. He's covered in red paint from head to foot.
Everything he's done's been quality, hasn't it?
This is Tupi for New Zealand.
Do you know, it was an aggressive British defence that forced a mistake from New Zealand just a minute or two ago when we got possession at that end of the field to score. That's where the work and emphasis has to be right now.
Henry Farfili, he missed last weekend for Warrington at Wigan. Vinacola with a short ball to Shontaine Harpy, and he was looking for the return pass as well that never came. Vinacola once more. Back it goes. Here now is Monty Beetham, back on the international scene and delighted to be involved in his first test match in 3 years. And Roberts with the dab down the line again. And will that stay in the in-goal area? No, it just skips away. Britain will restart on the 20-metre line.
Just a bit too strong. He's got his radar right, though.
Another quick restart. Wellens gives it to Gleeson. Kidwell gets to him with a bit of help from Shontaine Harpy.
You can see the Kiwis now, they're working very hard to ensure that Great Britain do not get up and play the ball quickly. They've been caught out in that department on a few occasions.
Terry Newton, good run from dummy half, this from Newton. Sean Long waits at dummy half. Half an hour of the test match gone. 12-4, Great Britain ahead. Gareth Ellis, good on his feet, gets round one, but Kidwell and Solomona are there to pull him down. Newton waits at dummy half. Long wants it and gets it. It goes wide then to Maguire. Maguire couldn't get the ball away. Good tackling by Vinnie Anderson and Shontaine Harpy. Long under pressure from Motutoni. Up in the air it goes. Here's a tester. Well claimed. Well claimed by Henry Farfili.
Was it ever? He got it all wrong. He got into a bad position. He didn't know whether to go forward, and then he hesitated and just had to lunge. He caught that about an inch off the ground. Great effort.
Palliasina of Wigan.
Try! Movement! Here it is, fellas. Make it!
Here comes Vinnie Anderson for New Zealand. Halted by 1, 2, 3 Great Britain defenders. Now Solomona. Good tackling from Great Britain. Last tackle, they're still inside their own half. Stacey Jones with a hoof over the top, but straight into the arms of Eddie Gardner. Gardner comes forward as far as Robbie Paul and David Kidwell. Maguire dummy half. Keith Senior.
Eddie, Britain really look up for this game tonight. You've got players pushing in support of the ball carrier, trying to offer themselves as a bit of assistance on the outside. Players getting back for quick tap 20 restarts. We really have performed in this opening half an hour.
Newton again. Scampering little run. Only gets away. Ball comes back and it's picked up brilliantly by Wellens. Here is Long. And the gap opens for Long. Long goes over under the sticks. Well, it was risky business as the ball came back from the tackle. But they were so quick to assess the danger then. And Sean Long over and underneath the sticks for his first test try for Great Britain.
And again, it has been created by the hooker, Terry Newton. Wonderful stuff here. Nobody went low. All three attempted to go high. Not the best pass, but Wellens has to be one of the best positional fullbacks in the world, Paul Wellens. Not only in defence, but he knows when to chime in. He's hanging around, but what about the upper body strength there? Pick up, back on the inside. That is a great try. Wonderful combination.
Great Britain really do look like a rugby team, don't they? Threatening in the middle, playing the ball quicker than their opponents at present, and really causing trouble for the Kiwis. Scoring from the halfway line is a sign of a quick side, and you need pace at international level if you want to challenge the best. Great Britain, well, they look almost the best in this half an hour.
And my apologies to Sean Long. I robbed him of 2 international tries a moment ago. That's try number 3 in the international arena for Long, and he's been increased the lead as well. It's 18 points to 4, and the stand wall, short, long double act is there.
Brian McClendon has to get the message to these Kiwis. You both going the same way. You're slow at the marker. They've been ripped apart, first by Cunningham and now by Newton. Wonderful support. He's made a huge impact.
Terry Newton, he managed to get the ball away in the tackle, and Wellens was the man who got to it, and Long was the support act in chief. Wellens is underneath the kickoff as well. Here is Graham.
Well, as expected, both sides playing at a very fast pace indeed. There's no shirking out there. There's some big hits, and the enthusiasm level is very high indeed.
Here is Lee Gilmore. Oh, and that was a bit high. Then Roberts had a grab at him. Newton to Maguire. Here is Gleeson. And Gleeson, he gets away. And it's an important tackle that was by Leslie Vainicolo. Great Britain now have got 6 to go.
How alert was Newton then?
He was the first to react. Long.
Toe! Here it is, boys. Hold here. Hold. Go.
Terry Newton. Drive forward here by the number 11, Jamie Peacock. 10 metres away, Great Britain, 3 tackles remaining. Newton waits the dummy half. Maguire, back he comes. This is Gilmore to Gleeson, great hands. Gardner with a debut try.
Forward pass.
Not allowed.
Oh, that's cruel.
Well, Gardner's dream has just been wiped away. I think you'll find that it is forward. That is a good call by the official. But what about the spin here from Gleeson? Just drifted forward slightly. And I'm afraid the dream for this young fella just goes in a puff of smoke, or should we say a throaty whistle by the Australian.
Get it in, locked in. Okay, wait.
Less than 5 to go to half time. It's head and feet at the scrum to New Zealand. Stacey Jones waits for it to come out.
Yeah, just less than 5 to go, Eddie. Great Britain have control of this game in the first half, but the last 5-minute period of a test match really can separate the best from the rest. Great Britain need that focus for the full 40 minutes before they earn the right to have a rest.
Robbie Paul, impressive form in his debut season for Huddersfield, and he's back on the international scene tonight. Great Britain are very quick in the tackle. They've had a couple of training sessions this year, and this test match can only do them good for what is to come at the back end of the season. Denny Anderson under pressure from James Graham, gets a high kick away. Gardner's underneath this, had all the time to collect it as well.
Tackle one!
Solomona and Harpy with the tackle.
It was a shocking pass. It was meant to go to Stacey Jones and found its hands on Vinnie Anderson, who's not a noted kicker.
Marcus lock in.
Sean O'Loughlin.
Oh, that's a high shot.
Fontaine Harpy caught him a bit high. Gilmore coming down the short side with Maguire. Maguire, he just manages to go to ground in time. The 3 New Zealand defenders were trying to push him over the whitewash.
Go!
Gardner, Gleeson.
Surrender 5!
Last tackle here for Great Britain. They are just on halfway. Newton to Long. Wellens, wide to go. Here is Senior. Leon Price. Leon Price hacks ahead. Wellens is after this. Oh, brilliantly taken by Clinton Tupy. How good was that?
Well, he knew he was on the last, so he took the gamble to get the boot to it, and maybe just get the ball right through, and enthusiastically they've given away a penalty. It is relief for the Kiwis, and they needed it.
He'd get a job in the World Cup as a goalkeeper at the moment, that save, wouldn't it? He tried to knock it through the legs, nutmeg him. There were 5 or 6 Great Britain players weren't they chasing up. Sign of a confident team, though, when they're prepared to run it on the halfway line.
Alex Chan is being pushed back by terrific Great Britain defence. Robbie Paul waits at dummy half. It's with Stacey Jones. Back it comes now to Vinnie Anderson. He helps it on to David Kidwell. Kidwell, there's no way through there, senior, and Long closing the door. Vinnie Anderson. Gets to his feet, plays the ball to Robbie Paul. Here's Stacey Jones. Back it comes to Clinton Tupi. This is Solomona, offloaded by him back to Tupi. And Tupi gets the ball round the corner to Vainicolo. Great Britain know all about him. They all know about this fellow as well, Solomona. Oh, and it bounces untidily along the deck. It's gone back. It's still Robbie Paul as the referee calls 6 to go. Solomona once more. Great hands here from New Zealand, keeping it alive. And again to Robbie Paul. Brilliant to Shontaine Harpy. He's kept the tackle count going. That's tackle number 4. Stacey Jones. Stacey Jones, back it comes. Monty Beetham. Monty Beetham gets away from a couple. Another wild pass. Stacey Jones does well. It goes backwards. Play on.
He's touched it.
6 more.
He's got 6. That's a great achievement by the Kiwis. Great work from Jones. Oh, he's knocked on.
Oh, that's a huge
That is
call.
a big call, Eddie, isn't it?
And it's a relieving call for Great Britain.
Well, that was outstanding. We saw last year in the Tri-Nations final against Australia, the Kiwis came up with absolutely brilliant, open, fast, angle rugby league football. Look at the inside pass. Beautiful stuff from Robbie Paul.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. In you go, Kiwi.
Sensational stuff from the New Zealanders there.
I'm not going to tell you we scrum.
I know there might be some stars missing back home. Phil, this team, there are no mugs out there.
Man for man, probably the most skillful team in world rugby, aren't they? When they have the ball in hand in an attacking position, they're not only great to watch, but I'll tell you what, they must be hard to defend against. Here's a big decision, a Great Britain mistake. 10 seconds to go on the clock, and the Kiwis form the scrum. They're going to get one more play.
They are. There are 5 seconds remaining.
Now we'll see a set pattern move at the base. Will Jones trail, or will he do a kick over the top or into the corner?
Well, he's directing the traffic. He's pointing them down the right-hand side. These are anxious moments for Brian Noble and Great Britain. Ball goes into the scrum, comes out. There will be a kick wide. Leon Price is under pressure here. Farfili's under this. It's bounced back. Clinton Tupi, and he loses the ball in touch. And Great Britain, they are relieved to have weathered that late storm.